Hi again, this is Dee, Last Day's Messenger. Thank you for coming back to listen to part two. I'm going to be starting up in the sixth law of health. This is from Brother Dustin from his channel. And I did that in part one, and this is part two. These are 8 important tools to protect you from avoiding the virus. Okay, so the sixth law of health is fresh air, and it is essential for health, breathing it in. So, it's highly recommended you open your windows a little bit regularly, spring, summer, obviously, but wintertime too, to get some fresh air. Practice deep breathing exercises. Inhale 4 or 5 seconds through your nose, then exhale for a count of 8 or 9. This will strengthen your lungs. I know all about this. I've been doing this for a while. I used to be a smoker. So you do a count of 4 or 5 seconds, breathing it in through your nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then exhaling through your mouth, count of 8, 9, or if you can even go a little bit longer than that. It will strengthen your lungs. The seventh law of health would be rest. Proper rest is important, very essential. In Mark 6:31, our reminder scripture, and he, capital H, Jesus, said to them, "Come aside by yourselves to a lonely place and rest a little." For there were many coming and going, and they did not even have time to eat. Helpful hint, don't eat when it's getting close to bedtime. It's not a good idea to snack late. This is not good. We know this, but these are just reminders for optimal health, particularly at this time. A good time to sleep, if you can, would be actually between the hours of 9 and 10, getting at least 7 or 8 hours. Try your best. This is the hardest part at all. This is excruciatingly difficult for us. No electronics 2 hours before bed. Okay? We need to turn it off. We need at least a couple hours before we lay down in bed to relax. No electronics. No laptop on the bed. Talking about no smartphone, no chatting, no texting. Really? Seriously, we need to just stop and be at peace before we get into bed. I wrote this down because I was taking copious notes from Dustin. Ecclesiastes 5:12. I read it after he told us about it. I went into my Bible and read it. Didn't make any sense. You can read it if you'd like and see if you can apply it. And our weekly rest day would be Saturday. Anybody can go to church if they want to on Sunday. That's your priority. Just talking about the Sabbath rest day that he gave us. God didn't change any of his rules. He blessed the seventh day and he made it holy. And I have been implementing this for as long as I've been saved. The first couple of years, it was a learning period. And then as I got into it, I got more and more knowledge. Praying for wisdom, you pray for discernment, you pray for understanding. Next, the last one. This video is going to be a little bit shorter than the last one. So, the eighth law of health, trust in God. And Proverbs 4, verses 20 to 22 is essential to our health. We have to be consistent with God. That's talking about our daily appointment with him and our prayers. Reading the Bible, reading scripture daily. Pick something out you've never read before and spend a few minutes reading it. Or go over something that you want to get more clarity on. The Holy Spirit will help reveal it to you. Praying daily. Sharing with others between God's promises, what they are. Go into that. Philippians 4:13 was one of the first verses that I learned and memorized, because it's a lot easier if you have all these things in your mind. I can do all things through Jesus. I can do all things through Jesus Christ. And so I'm going to read today instead, this afternoon rather, from one of the other Bibles that I always spend a lot of time in, and this is my Amplified Bible. So we can go right over to Isaiah 58:13 and 14. And God is very, very specific. If you turn away your foot from traveling unduly on, in parentheses, the Sabbath, from doing your own pleasure on my holy day, and call the Sabbath a spiritual delight, the holy day of the Lord honorable, and honor him and it, not going your own way, or seeking or finding your own pleasure, or speaking with your own idle words. 14. Then will you delight yourself in the Lord, and I will make you to ride on the high places of the earth. I will feed you with the heritage promised for you of Jacob your father, for the mouth of the Lord has spoken it. Reference there would be Genesis 27, verse 28, 29, verse 28, 13 through 15. Let's see, did I mess that up? Sorry. Genesis 27, verse 28, Genesis 29, Genesis 28, verses 13 through 15. So God really gets very specific with us, what he wants us to do. So that's doing it his way. That's resting on Saturday. Also, the diet that Daniel partook in the book of Daniel is excellent. It's an all veggie diet. So go and read Daniel chapter 1 by all means. Try to get some insight on that if you haven't read the book of Daniel for a while. That would be a good reading assignment for you. Daniel chapter 1, he abstains from eating all, the king's foods that were put out before them. And he chose to go the veggie route. And after a period of time, it proved to be very useful and helpful because he turned out to look much better and healthier than the rest. Also read chapter 10. Eat no pleasant food. That's what you would do in a time that you're trying to get to the Lord. You're trying to have the Lord pay attention to you. You're trying to prove to the Lord, Lord, please, I'm begging you, Lord, please, I'm coming to you. Lord, please hear from me. And then avoid, unclean meat that I spoke about earlier. Take pork out of your diet to be healthy. Sorry if that's upsetting to some of you. Don't do it, if you don't feel that it's right. I happen to know, in fact, that it is right. So again, I just wanted to get back to you like I promised, and read the rest that I learned and wrote down from Dustin. Okay, I hope you have a great evening, everyone, in the Lord. Thank you, and God bless you.